Alright, so today I want to talk about the HK45 Compact. Now, before I get into the review, I want to talk a little bit about HK and how I feel about them. HK, no doubt, makes some of the best guns in the world. Pretty much every special operations unit in the 80s and the 90s, was using the MP5. Their weapons are still used all over the world today by militaries and police. The HK416 probably is the best variant of the AR ever to be introduced. Your HK417s as well, the G36, the UMP, the various line of pistols. I could go on and on and on. But HK pretty much rocks as far as products go. Now, their customer service, though, to the U.S. Market, though, sucks. I mean, they just, I don't know, to me it seems like they have an elitist attitude. And, they don't really listen to their customer base for what they really want. But I could rant on and on and on about it. But there's no doubt that HK makes good products. So I recently picked up an HK 45 Compact, the HK45C, which is a phenomenal pistol. I actually really like it a lot more than I thought it would, or thought I would. So I'll get into the specs of it first off. Okay, again, this is the HK45 Compact chambered in 45 ACP. Okay, right here I have, this is the tactical version. So how it differs from the standard version is I got a threaded barrel and I got two 10-round magazines instead of 8-round magazines. This is what's referred to as an elephant foot, and all it does is cover up the bottom of the magazine and mates up really nice with the frame of the pistol. Okay, I really like having the elephant foot on the magazine because if I didn't have it on there, it actually just would be, it wouldn't be enough purchase for me to get a good grip on the gun. So with the elephant's foot, I'm able to get a good purchase on the gun, establish a good firing grip. So I really like having that. Okay. Anyway, breaking it down, this is the single action, double action model. I usually don't like having single action, double action pistols. I mean, I despise the Beretta. I mean, I absolutely hate that gun. But two notable exceptions are the SIG, 226 and that line, and then HK products. Okay. Again, this is the single double action, meaning there's two modes of fire. This is double action, so a very heavy trigger pull is required to break the round, and then obviously after every subsequent shot it's going to be what's called single action, and it requires a very light trigger pull, and it feels really good. Pull weights on those is about 4.5 pounds for a single action shot and about 11 to 12 pounds for a double action shot. And obviously you can send this in and actually get it changed to double action only, although I don't know why you'd really want to, and single action only. So you can have single action only with a safety feature. Instead of this just being a decocker, it turns into a safety feature if you send it into an HK gunsmith, so you can carry it cocked and locked like a 1911, which would be about the only thing I'd really want to do to it. Talking specs on this gun, it comes with an integral mill stud 1913 rail system. It's a little bit short for most of the lights I run. Like, I really like running a Surefire X300 light. Can't do that with this rail system because it's not long enough. Not a big deal, I just got to buy another light for it, but so you can't do that. It's very ergonomic. I like the slim line, slim profile for the grip. The grip to slide angle is very similar to a 1911. So I do like the fact that they did that. There's ambidextrous controls on the gun. You have your slide release here, and then you also have one on the right side of the gun for lefties, or if you're shooting offhand. The trigger guard is where the magazine release is. That is where the magazine release is. It's not on the traditional spot of the weapon, which would be about right here on most guns, which is a good and a bad thing. I guess HK, the reason they say they did it is because they didn't want anybody inadvertently dropping the magazine. So they say you actually have to adjust your firing grip to hit the magazine release, which is true. I think their philosophy or their logic's flawed, however, because I don't want to have to readjust my grip because that takes a split second. I got to reacquire my grip after I do a magazine change. which I don't want to do that. But nevertheless, that's the reason they did it. And I don't agree with it, but that's the reason they did it. And, it works. A little bit of training and you can get used to it fairly easy. What else can I say about the gun? It comes with 3 True Dot night sights, which are very, very, very nice. Easy to acquire the sights. I mean, especially if you're someone who works on your presentation and your draw. I mean, you come right up and the sights are on target. Fantastic sights. This is one of the few guns I've ever bought that it's just been good to go out of the package, out of the box. I'm not going to do a single thing to this gun. Like when I buy a Glock, I mean, Glocks are a great gun, but when I buy a Glock, I throw in a new trigger. I throw in night sights, an extended magazine release, slide release. I do a whole bunch of things to my Glock, so I put a bunch of money into it after I buy them. Well, with this, it's good to go from the start. I mean, the fit and finish of it is fantastic. They put cocking serrations to the front so you can do a proper press check, which I really, really like. Again, there's an O-ring on the barrel, which allows for a precise barrel to slide lock up, which I really like. There's polygonal rifling on the barrel, which increases accuracy. Speaking of which, talking about the barrel is rated for 20,000 rounds minimum, which I think is fantastic. Somebody actually put this gun through a torture test. They put it through 70,000 rounds, and this gun did not have a stoppage until the 45,000 round mark. I mean, that's just fantastic. It's a very, very well built gun, very extremely, extremely reliable. And of course, it's a very, very sophisticated gun. It's not like a Glock or an M&P or an XDM or whatever. I mean, this is a sophisticated gun. Okay. What else can I say about it? That's about it as far as features go. A little bit of specs on the gun. Again, 10-round magazines are actually the high-capacity ones for the compact version. Standard's 8-round magazines, which are flush fitting. The barrel, of course, mine is threaded, so you could mount a sound suppressor if you live in a free state and are able to do that. Again, as I've already said, single action is right at 4.5 pounds, and the double action, I believe I read it was 11.46. I don't have a gauge, though, to confirm that. The weight of the compact tactical version is 28, almost 29 ounces. So it's a hefty gun. And of course, that's unloaded too. So, with a loaded 10-round magazine, you're going to be well over 2 pounds. But the gun balances really, really well. It's not front heavy. It's not back heavy. It's just perfectly balanced in my opinion. Excuse me. Other than that, that's really, really it as far as the features go. Initial impressions of firing it, it's very, very controllable. As I said, the slide to grip angle is very, very nice. It gives it almost a 1911-ish feel. It's just a great, great gun. It is the compact version, and of course when I hear compact, I think, well, concealed carry. I definitely would not want to concealed carry this gun. It's just too darn heavy, and honestly too bulky for concealed carry. I think the best use for this gun is kind of in exactly how the SEAL teams use them, okay? SEAL Team 6 can use pretty much whatever gun they want, and they use the HK45 compact. It was the sidearm on a lot of SEALs that went on the Bin Laden raid, according to the book No Easy Day. And these guys run them, and they generally prefer them over their SIGs, which is the next most common gun ran in the SEAL teams. Okay, so with an endorsement like that, I tend to pay attention, and it's, just kind of a side note, kind of cool guy factor, but nevertheless, it's going to run well if the SEALs are trusting their lives to them. Okay. In fact, the SEALs use a lot of HK products. It seems like it's all HK at sometimes. The guys in that book were running HK416s, MP7s, and this bad boy right here. Okay, so I think the best use for this gun is in a direct action kind of for direct action operations like the SEALs are using them. You want it on your hip. You got 10 rounds of 45 ACP, or if you're like me, I like to run one in the pipe, so 11. Not too bad for a 45. Now, obviously, your Glock 21s, your FNP tacticals, you can obviously carry a lot more than that. But for all intents and purposes, for what this is meant to be, the magazine capacity I'll say is adequate. Okay. As far as cleaning goes, HK recommends, give it a little bit of a cleaning every 500 rounds, unsuppressed, and then, cut that in half if you're running a suppressor. I think that's a little bit too much, and I know the gun would run without that. And then the HK, though, does recommend a detailed cleaning every 1,000 rounds, and of course, every 500 rounds if you're running a suppressor. Okay. So at the end of the day, I mean, is this gun for everybody? Absolutely not. It's expensive. Like I said, it's a much more sophisticated weapon system than most of them out there. But what you do get with the price tag, you get one of the best handguns I've ever fired as far as accuracy, reliability, and ergonomics. It's just a really, really nice gun. And like I've already said, the fit and finish on it is just fantastic. I really, really like the way the gun turned out. Also, on a side note, they do have a firing pin or a round chamber indicator on the right side, where that red line is right there, if you can see it, and that will protrude out when there is a round chambered. Okay. I don't have a ton of range time with the gun yet. I've just put a couple rounds through it, and I've been very impressed. Okay, I know it's going to turn out very well. I will try and get a video up shortly of me shooting it. But I give a big thumbs up to the HK45 Compact. I recommend it to anyone who's willing to spend the coin. When you buy an HK product, of course, you spend a lot of money just for the name. But in this case, I think it's a really, really good purchase. Again, it's not for everybody, but for those of you curious about it, I guarantee you won't be disappointed. Okay, and generally, I see the standard versions running about just north of 1,000. This one was $1,350, and actually that's actually not a bad price. That's what they normally are, even with all this panic buying going on. So that's pretty much it, guys. A big thumbs up for the HK, and I'll try and have a range video up shortly. Thanks for watching.